Hey guys, today we're going to be unboxing the DUNWICH HORROR expansion to ARKHAM HORROR. This is sort of the primary big box expansion for the game. I know this came out a while ago, but people are getting interested in ARKHAM HORROR again after the release of Eldritch Horror and all of that, so here we go. First thing you get is a new board which extends at the top of the existing ARKHAM HORROR board. It's got 3 neighborhoods, the DUNWICH market track, there's these portals, and then the 2 new Otherworld locations. Get this guy out the way. Next thing we have is another sort of Fantasy Flight rulebook, just your classic Fantasy Flight. It's exactly the same size and everything as ARKHAM HORROR. The box is exactly the same size as the original ARKHAM HORROR, and so is the rulebook. So it shows you where to set up the new board and what all the different components do. It's a fairly straightforward expansion, which is quite nice and quite unusual for Fantasy Flight. So there we have our index at the back. Cool. So up next, if I can get these things out, because they're always tricky to get out of the bag. We have our new ancient old ones, or our bad guys, or our boss monsters, whatever you want to call them, and our new investigators. So let's take a look at these a little closer. So here we have our new bad guys. You can see they range in difficulty and pronounceability of their names. The harder they are to pronounce, the tougher the boss is. And here's some of our investigators. We have Rita, we got Mark, the soldier, Diana, the cultist, we have Jacqueline, the psychic, and there's a spelling mistake on that card, Jim, the musician, Wilson, the handyman, Leo, the expedition leader, and Marie, the entertainer, who's basically sort of an actress, singer. All fits very nicely with the theme and everything of the 1920s. Up next, you have about 6 million small, mini-sized Fantasy Flight USA board game cards. But what else would you expect from an ARKHAM HORROR expansion? But you know, if you've played the original ARKHAM HORROR, kind of what to expect there. You have 2 of these sort of tarot-ish sized decks. These are all your locations and mythos cards and other world sort of encounter decks. So these you just shuffle into your original base game and play them that way. Let's put these back in the box. The next deck is slightly more interesting. It's our DUNWICH HORROR deck. So basically what happens is, as you summon the DUNWICH HORROR, you're going to draw one of these cards, and each of them will state which unique sort of incarnation of the DUNWICH HORROR you're going to be battling, and all their statistics and special abilities and that kind of thing. So it's never the same 2 games in a row, or highly unlikely that it's going to be the same 2 games in a row. Every time you summon him, you draw one of these cards, and that kind of gets amended to his character and makes him even more tougher than he already is. So there's a variety of those, and in addition to that, in this deck there's also just a few more location decks, and included in this are the location decks for the new locations on the new board. So as you can see, these cards look slightly different on the backs, but in terms of the faces, they're just like any other location deck. Up next we have some new gate markers, not too many, just 4 new gate markers, I believe. Yeah, 4 new gate markers, very nice. Also, just to get shuffled in with the original base game. Here's some markers that are specific to the DUNWICH HORROR, so things that you'll put on that DUNWICH HORROR marker track to see when he comes out, and some more plastic stands up for all the new cardboard stand-ups that you get in this game. Speaking of cardboard stand-ups, we've got our bag of new monster cardboard stand-ups and our new character stand-ups. And that's what you get inside the DUNWICH HORROR expansion. Enjoy.